Welcome once again, my friends, and thank you for stopping by to listen to an old storyteller. Today we have a story from England, and the title of this story is King John and the Abbot of Canterbury. In the reign of King John there lived an Abbot of Canterbury who kept up grand state in his abbey. 100 of the abbot's men dined each day with him in his refectory, and 50 knights in velvet coats and gold chains waited upon him daily. Well, King John, as you know, was a very bad king, and he couldn't brook the idea of anyone in his kingdom, however holy he might be, being honored more than he. So he summoned the Abbot of Canterbury to his presence. The abbot came with a goodly retinue, with his 50 knights at arms in velvet cloaks and gold chains. The king went out to meet him, and said to him, "How now, Father Abbot? I hear it of thee, thou keepest far greater state than I. This becomes not our royal dignity, and savours of treason in thee." "My liege," quoth the abbot, bending low, "I beg to say that all I spend has been freely given to the abbot out of the piety of the folk. I trust your grace will not take it ill that I spend for the abbey's sake what is the abbey's." "Nay, proud prelate," answered the king, "all that is in this fair realm of England is our own, and thou hast no right to put me to shame by holding such state. However, of my clemency I will spare thy life and thy property, if you can answer me but 3 questions." "I will do so, my liege," said the abbot, "so far as my poor wit can extend." "Well then," said the king, "tell me where is the center of all the world round. Then let me know how soon can I ride the whole world about, and lastly, tell me what I think." "Your Majesty jests," stammered the abbot. "Thou wilt find it no jest," said the king, "unless thou canst answer me these questions 3 before a week is out. Thy head will leave thy body." And he turned away. Well, the abbot rode off in fear and trembling. At first he went to Oxford to see if any learned doctor could tell him the answer to those questions 3, but none could help him, and he took his way to Canterbury, sad and sorrowful, to take leave of his monks. But on his way he met his shepherd as he was going to the fold. "Welcome home, Lord Abbot," quoth the shepherd. "What news from good King John?" "Sad, sad news, my shepherd," said the abbot, and told him all that had happened. "Now cheer up, Sir Abbot," said the shepherd. "A fool may perhaps answer what a wise man knows not. I will go to London in your stead. Grant me only your apparel and your retinue of knights. At the least I can die in your place." "Nay, shepherd, not so," said the abbot. "I must meet the danger in my own person, and to that thou canst not pass for me." "But I can and I will, Sir Abbot. In a cowl who will know me for what I am?" So at last the abbot consented, and sent him to London in his most splendid array, and he approached King John with all his retinue as before, but dressed in his simple monk's dress, and his cowl over his face. "Now come, Sir Abbot," said King John, "thou art prepared for thy doom, I see." "I am ready to answer your Majesty," said he. "Well then, question first. Where is the center of the round earth?" said the king. "Here," said the shepherd abbot, planting his crozier in the ground. "And your Majesty believe me not, go measure it and see." "By St. Botolph," said the king, "a merry answer and a shrewd." So to the question the second. How soon may I ride this round world about? "If your Majesty will graciously rise with the sun, and ride along with him until the next morning he rise, your grace will surely have ridden it round." "By St. John," laughed King John, "I did not think it could be done so soon. But let that pass, and tell me question 3rd and last, and that is, what do I think?" "That is easy, your grace," said he. "Your Majesty thinks I am my Lord Abbot of Canterbury, but as you may see," and here he raised his cowl, "I am but his poor shepherd, that am come to ask your pardon for him and for me." Loud laughed the king. "Well thought. Thou hast more wit than thy lord, and thou shalt be abbot in his place." Nay, that cannot be, quoth the shepherd. I know not to write nor to read. Well then, 4 nobles a week thou shalt have for the ready wit, and tell the abbot from me that he has my pardon. And with that King John sent away the shepherd with a right royal present, besides his pension. Thank you once again for listening to this story. If you enjoyed this story, please press that like button. Also, please help an old storyteller out by subscribing to my channel. The next story will be posted in a few days, so until then, may your story continue to be a good one.